I don't care about. We're going to get started. You've been doing what we want you to do is network. That's one thing that we've been really focusing on since we started is network. I want to get to know everybody to know each other, find out what you do, what you can offer, and we're going to give you a chance to do that to the whole room here in a little bit. But we're going to get started here. As you know where we are, we're so glad to be back here. We miss these guys. We started RIG under a new flag in August, and we got, I think, about 4 good meetings here. And then COVID stuck up its ugly head again, and we had to go home. But we're back. Tonight's our first night back here. So the crowd's a little small. We have more people registered, but it's all right. We got to start with a quality crowd. So the deal is they let us use the ring for free as long as we eat, drink, and tip, and be happy. So please do that. There's, I think everybody knows the color now. Red up, I'm good. Green, I'm thirsty or hungry. Please come talk to me. And here's our agenda. We're doing the informal networking. We're going to do some short announcements, very short, and we're going to go around and let everybody introduce who you are, what you need, what you can give to the group. And you can think about it now. If you got haves, wants, OMGs. OMGs is, oh my goodness, or oh my goodness. So, good and bad. We learn from both, and we want to hear both. So you got a chance to share that. And then while we're really all here, we're going to hear Tim come up and talk about fix and flipping in Denver. He's the guy that knows about it. We got adjourned in networking, but we're in a brewery. They're open late. Last call, I think we moved back a little bit farther. So don't run out when we said that's it. Hang around and talk. You may hear from time to time a really good deal. You may hear somebody say, I offer this services and I can walk on water. And it may seem too good to be true, and sometimes it is. So whatever you hear based on the project or the person, do your due diligence. Check them out. Ask around. And don't do anything blind than just what you hear or see here. We've got our social media list has shrunk down a little bit, but right now we've got our Facebook. It's a very active group. I think we've got over, I think I got the slide. We've got over 3,500 members there. We're starting to play with MeWe. It's kind of up and coming. I don't know. We've got a presence, and I don't know if you focus on it. We've got a LinkedIn group. Then we YouTube. We record all these sessions, or we're trying to record them all, and we'll put them out there. So, International Women's Day was yesterday. So cheers to all our women investors.
International Women's Day.
I don't think there is such a thing. So. But cheers to our women investors. Here we go. There we go. As of this, I think was last month, and it cut off how many people. I had a slide that was showing how many people we actually had in there. I think we're at 36. We're getting close to 3,600 people. 3542. There we go. A lot of you are first timers, and we're glad to have you here. We love people coming in for the first time. We like people that's been investing in for 30 days just as much as if they've invested in 30 years. The first meeting is always free, so you're here, so you've got that one under. But if you have friends who are in the investing world, invite them to come with you next month. The membership is for one person is $100 a year. So you get full access to the website, and we're putting like all our meeting stuff there. All the PowerPoint presentations go on there, and we've got some other tools and spreadsheets and different documents you may find helpful. Or maybe you can say, hey, I've got a great spreadsheet I'd like to add. If you'd like to partner with a significant other, husband, significant other, or business partner, you can save a little bit of money and do a partnership for $175. And if you're a business and you want to promote some big deals, promote your services, it's $250 a year. And each month we pick a business member and we kind of showcase them here and we talk about them. We publish some flyers and stuff on all our social media sites. And speaking of which, tonight is Ken Palman, and is he? He's en route.
He said he's hopping in the car.
Here's our business member of the month. He had me sweating.
Ken Palman.
And speaking of on our website, he's going to give you a short rundown, but he's presented now twice. He hosted a meeting, and he did a dedicated webinar based on the new tax plan. He's a business member, so he's going to give you a really short brief deal right now.
Thanks. I was on Zoom a half hour ago, and then it occurred to me that, well, I wanted to make sure you saw my chat where I said, I'm going to drive over because we were having audio feedback, and I kind of forgot that you could come out and see people. So sorry I'm late. So I've been a member for a few months now. Sherry Cree introduced me to Jim, and it's been great. Glad to be here. With a qualified intermediary company, my information up there. I've been at it about 8 years now, and I enjoy it. Hopefully I can help whenever you have some questions, you get into a tricky scenario. I work with who I believe is one of the gurus around the country, a guy named Dan McCabe, who's been doing exchanges since the year Star Wars came out. That was the original Star Wars, so it's been a while. So we have a great team, and I'm proud to be part of it. So I'm going to run through some stuff quickly. I think most of you know a fair amount about 1031. I'm sure some of you know more than I do. So to start, we'll even thank you. I'll even throw out a question that could trip me up. Anybody care to guess how much you have to reinvest in order to get a benefit from a 1031 exchange? Anyone?
$1%. At least the same amount.
$1 more than
What's your
basis.
Than your basis, yeah.
Yep, $1 more than your basis. So we get some questions. Well, we get that question once in a while. Well, I just have to reinvest my gain, right? And I can understand where people are coming from when they say that, because they're thinking, well, yeah, why don't I get to defer my tax if I reinvest all my gain? That's not the way 1031 works. It is an element of reinvesting your equity and your debt, and to the extent that you do that, you get deferral. So yeah, you start earning a benefit once you're reinvesting at least your basis in whatever you're getting rid of in the exchange. So go through this pretty quickly. An exchange turns a taxable sale into a non-taxable exchange of properties. Wealth velocity, I think, is a great term, basically meaning you get to keep that money that would otherwise go to Uncle Sam, state of Colorado, et cetera, and reinvest it in more real estate, right? So you grow your wealth quicker, greater velocity. It's been around 100 years, introduced in 1921. So hopefully it'll be around 100 more. We'll see. It has been under attack several times. Biden has suggested maybe we do away with it. He's not the first incoming president to say such a thing, so hopefully logic prevails. There are studies that show it's an economic driver, that it increases economic activity and ultimately tax revenue, right? If you have more people doing better and accumulating wealth, there's more tax revenue as a result. So, open-ended U.S. taxpayer, even foreign taxpayers can do exchanges if they have an IRS tax bill. Moving right along. There's a short list of what you need for a successful exchange here. Again, I think most of you are familiar with this. If you'd like to know more, if it's new to you, call me, email me anytime. I do have some cards and brochures, which again is weird. I haven't touched them in 13 months now, so
Mine are still really cool.
it's kind of cool. A couple of time frame restrictions to 1031. So it is important that the exchanger have some benefit to gain, right? Otherwise, why would you do it? Because you're putting yourself in this box where, okay, now I've got 45 days to do step one. I got to write down properties that I may want to buy if I haven't closed on them by day 45. And then I only get a maximum of 180 days from start to finish for an exchange, okay? And the only time it's greater than that is if there's a global pandemic. That doesn't happen very often, but there was some IRS extension because of COVID last year. California wildfires got relief. Colorado wildfires, first and second worst in our state's history. No relief. Pretty frustrating for some of our clients and a lot of people out there, but That's the way it goes. So you can only plan on 180 days for your exchange. You do need a QI. That's what I do, qualified intermediary. We recommend a professional QI. It's a fairly small expense compared to the value of most real estate deals, typically under $1,000. So we, not just for our self-serving purposes, but we would say it's probably a good idea for you to have a QI that knows what they're doing. That's probably enough on that list. Again, we can always talk about it if you like. There are some ways to get creative and increase the flexibility of 1031. You can sell first in what we call a straight exchange. You can buy first in what's called a reverse exchange. You can use some money to buy a fixer-upper, say it's in Boulder or wherever, and it's a rental and you want to pop the top or it needs major renovations. You can use other of your proceeds from selling to fix it up in what's called an improvement exchange. You can buy raw land and build on it, construction exchange. So there are some good areas of flexibility. Basically, any property other than a primary residence is potentially eligible, and you can move from any type of real property to any other. So you can go from a 30-year lease to a single-family residence to raw land to industrial, and on and on and on. And you can sell one and buy multiple, vice versa. So there's some good flexibility within the 1031 world. Just a quick recap of what Biden had proposed during his campaign. Income tax rate increases, that's probably not a surprise to anyone. And Manfred, I know you talked about this some a month ago. I believe what you had mentioned is we're probably not going to see anything dramatic this year. Correct. We may see the repeal of the Trump income tax brackets to be replaced by what Obama had in place, which means at the top end it's a couple % higher, middle income slightly higher. These more aggressive measures, 2, 3, and 4, we'll have to wait and see. My industry feels like they've got some good ammunition if we need to bring it out. If they say, hey, we want to circle back to talking about getting rid of 1031, we have studies, we have a new study that shows, again, this helps the economy. Please reconsider doing away with it. Capital gains elimination is a little scary. That would basically say, well, instead of 15 and 20% capital gains tax rates, that's going away. Everything's going to be taxed at normal income rates. So a high income earner would go from a 20% to a 39.6% tax at the federal level.
But both of those probably won't happen because, as you mentioned, the tax benefits right now by keeping that for people getting wealth. So I don't think we're going to have 1031 elimination or the capital gains elimination.
Okay. What do you think about step up in basis?
That could
possibly. Okay. That and that has to do with the estate planning and other things. But basically, that says if you or I have properties and we have beneficiaries, when we die, they go to our beneficiaries and they get to receive them at a market value based on the day we die, right? So whatever tax was deferred, whatever gain is built up is wiped clean. And some are saying, oh boy, we're letting a lot of money get away. Maybe we want to rethink that and do away with that. But again, it's a pretty aggressive move. It's been in place a long time. And finally, some of you may be aware of opportunity zones. It was a program that came out starting in 2018 under the Trump tax reform plan. And Biden has mentioned, or his team, wanting to do things to try and ensure that those living or working in the opportunity zones are reaping benefits, not just developers that are going in and maybe taking advantage of this new tax code. All right, just about a wrap. So, again, Exchange Resource Group, ERG, thanks for your time. I guess real quick, I'm an aspiring investor, so I'm here to learn as much as share information on 1031. So thanks for having me. again, call me anytime if I can help. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Excellent, good job.
Thank you.
If you go to our website, if you want to get the full version of this presentation, the recap of what Biden changes may happen, it's on our website. Here's a back up. Applause and OMGs. Sharon, come on.
This definitely falls into the OMG category. Both sides of it. I started off, I went to an auction that was held by one of our RIG members and ended up winning the bid on that by $322. And 2 days before, I went into it with a partner, and 2 days before Christmas, after countless emails and texts from her about, oh, we need this finish, and here's this idea, and what about that? And 2 days before Christmas, I got a text out of the blue that says, I'm out, I don't want to do this. She didn't like having to make decisions, which is a little odd for somebody trying to go into it. But anyway, so 2 days before Christmas, in the middle of COVID, I find myself without the partner and wondering how I'm going to afford this thing by myself, and if I don't go through with it, I've lost the $10,000 earnest money that I put down.
I did get a frantic email. Help, help, help! It's like posted in the Facebook group, and she got leads.
So 2 days before Christmas, I texted him or emailed him, and I said, help. Here's the situation. We're looking at losing this. And so we wrote up a whole thing. He posted it on Facebook. 5 or 6 or 8 people or so responded. I ended up meeting one person who just said, you know what, I got liquid cash, I'll do it here. And so he went out and just was able to close 3 or 4 days after that, 4 days after that. We closed December 29th. And then had a handful of RIG members through the network who were able to come in and do the rehab and anything that we needed to provide the services, the countertops and all that good stuff on the inside of the unit. And the first day that it was for sale, that it hit the market, I had 4 people come through and 3 of them made offers. And naturally, I accepted the one that was $22,000 over asking price.
There you go.
So, and we close on that next week, and I was wanting to show you some pictures of it. It's really cool, but oh well. Have to use your imagination. It was absolutely disgusting, to the point where you couldn't open the utility room door because there was so much animal poop on the floor that you couldn't get the door to. Well, you know, yeah, I walked in and I saw dollar signs. Other people walked in and they saw poop on the floor. So, but anyway. The moral of the story is absolutely using the RIG contacts, and if the person you've contacted doesn't know how to get it done or doesn't know, you know somebody who does, and it all worked out perfectly.
I like Miss Sharon, not Mary, Sharon, because I think it was our very first meeting here. She came in, and we had a membership special. But not only did she sign up on her first visit, but she paid for 2 years. So
Yes.
I was like, I like this lady.
She bought 2 pizzas.
And she bought 2 pizzas ago, so she helped the restaurant out, or the brewery. So when she said, help, I'm like, let's see what we can do. But as again, I talked earlier, it's all about networking. I may not can do it, but I'm pretty sure I know somebody that does, or I know that Manfred knows somebody that does. We work together. And when I first started this game, I was learning all these little secrets, and I was keeping my secrets to myself, and I can't let anybody know my secret sauce. Nobody's going to share their secret sauce, and I was blown away because you come in and you go, I thought about doing this, and somebody over here is going to go, no, don't do that. I got burned. Do it this way. Or if you thought about this, we share. It's plenty of sand in the sandbox to play. So that's what we really capitalized on from the beginning, working together, teaching each other and learning from each other and making deals and making money together. So what have you been?
It's enough for everybody.
We like the good OMGs, but every now and then we have somebody step up and go, I got a bad one.
Well, I did have 2 contractors that probably ultimately cost me about $10,000. That I fired both of them. I'd had it, and so then I had to go back and redo everything that they had done. So it probably cost me about $10,000 more than it needed to.
May 20th.
I still came out in the black, yes.
Good. Anybody else got to do? I know Kevin's got 2 in the queue. And we got some training from Mr. Tim. Anybody got anything to share? Pat, Smalls? Training? All right, we're going to move forward. Kevin?
Yep, got a self-storage facility in Missouri for sale. 113 units, about 80% occupancy right now. That could be bumped up a little bit. Probably all on that. A lot of other details on there. Go ahead. Asking $425 for it now. It's about 17,000 square feet, 113 units. 7.5% cap rate. So, any interest, give me a shout. My number is 303-868-6097.
What town's that in, Kevin?
It's in Mexico, Missouri. It's easy to remember.
Sure.
I'm hoping
You're
to
rolling,
see
you're-
you. That's where Tim's going. Tim's going to Mexico.
Wrong Mexico. and then deal number 2 for it.
And then got 8 duplexes, wholesale deals. The range in price, but the average of them is about $90,000. Their rent currently is about $1,000 a month. I think it's under market. Probably talking property managers in the area. Should be $1,150 to $1,200 a month. So room to bump that up. Some pictures of them. So if you have any interest in investing out of state, these are in Columbia, Missouri. But they're nice properties. I've walked 7 of the 8. They're pretty clean. Probably have a little fix up done, but they're all rented now and making money. So any interest?
Are
Again,
they occupied?
yeah. I think there may be one that's vacant.
How close are they to the school?
They're in the same town as the University of Missouri.
But how close?
They're probably 10-minute drive.
That's the Missouri. How close
Yeah,
is Steve?
University of Missouri, Mizzou, Columbia College, Stevens College. There's several colleges there. So yeah, it's a good college town.
Being from Columbia, Missouri.
No,
It says-
I'm from Mexico, Missouri.
And I'm
But
right
I went
there.
to Mizzou. So
There you go.
what about your background?
I grew up in Clark, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
You know where Clark is?
Yeah,
You're the first person I've ever met that knows where my hometown
that's
is.
awesome.
So I went to Mizzou for a while.
Yeah, I got the mechanical engineering.
I went to KU, so I don't like.
Oh,
Big 8
My
days, right?
you just rocked.
I was stationed in Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri.
Oh,
So I went to
there.
Columbia for a good
Fort
time.
Leonardwood.
Fort
Awesome,
Leonardwood.
yeah.
Correct.
When I started the investing game back in 2012, all I heard was John Fisher's Breakfast Club. And I waited, and I'll go. I would have went, but you'll notice that time, if you go there, you're going to meet serious investors.
Yeah.
The good news is there's good parking, there's good food. Tim, you want to add anything to it?
7 a.m. is worth getting up that early.
Yeah.
Trust me, you gotta go more than once.
It's a great group.
That is probably the single best networking group in the area.
And hopefully soon here we can bump it back up to 70 or 80. Right now we're at 50. This coming Saturday, we'll have to see what the weather does. We'll either Zoom it or we'll move it back a week if we do get this 20 inches of snow. We're trying to figure that out right now. So, but yeah, again, it's just like rig and just like networking. Like John was saying, if you show up more than once, twice, 3 times, you're gonna get business. You're gonna know, and you're gonna be able to be helped like Sharon was. If you show up once and never again, we don't know who you are. I couldn't remember your name. I used to be good. Three times I beat you and I knew your name. Now as I'm getting older, I need like 4 or 5 times. I don't know. That's like just in the last 40 years that my brain is going to have to happen. But yeah, it is really an event that you need to go to. And it is worth getting up at 7 a.m. John used to have it at 6:30 a.m. When I took over, I moved it to 7, just for you guys, because y'all complain about it.
But you know there's serious investors there. There's investors, you name it, they're there. Money, insurance,
Probably have-
bankers, agents.
Probably have 70% are regulars, about 30% are new. And it does take a little time to break into the group. You got to show up a couple times. Once you're broken in, and Caitlin will tell you, business just comes her way. Martin, you know, every time I get a Spanish-speaking somebody that needs a loan, I send them to Martin. Vern's too expensive for most of the fix and flippers, but I send Vern real business.
I get a lot of business out of that bunch.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in there gets red tagged at one time.
Yeah,
I was only gonna say that for the 70-plus group that needs to be moved to 10 o'clock.
I vote for that.
I keep looking for the John Fisher's Brunch Club.
There you go.
John Fisher's happy hour.
But the parking is great.
Yeah,
The traffic is great. Getting there's no problem.
You better clear across Denver in 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
At that time of day.
Tim, that's the only thing missing is the bottomless mimosa.
I'd come for that.
We do that, we do that at the holidays. We'll do that at the holidays again, but we couldn't be there this year.
Yeah.
So,
You bump it up $10. Free mimosas. Or at least 2.
You don't know that crowd. Get back to the cover.
no.
It's a freebie. Okay, I am Light Solutions Group, and I'm do some funding. I'm not like Caitlin. She has her fund. I broke her from a couple of different groups, and I started out kind of by accident. I got into the investing world. I started going to the meetings and learning, taking every free class I could in the area. IROC, I think I did everything on their schedule. Pine Financial, love those guys. And then I started working with Katie with EEC, Investors Network Community, and the JH and I and a couple others. We personally funded a couple of Katie's deals, and was like, this private lending is sweet. And then here's money, I'm getting the minimum 11%.
A lot less work than what Vern's doing.
I was getting money every month. Yeah. Every now and then she'd say, I'm running a little late. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, are the checks going to keep coming? She goes, yeah. I'm like, keep it. Because when you pay it off, I got to go find somewhere else. I started private lending with my 401k that we got asked to leave IBM. So I took that, invested there. And then I kind of got into brokering hard money. So I've got a couple agents I deal with. We do rehab loans. One thing a little bit different in rehab loan than most is we'll do up to 90% of your purchase price. We'll do 100% of your rehab. There's no monthly payments, and you'll get your rehab draws in advance. You'll get one at closing, and when you finish that phase, you'll get your rehab draw, your second, and your third, and you're done. You'll pay a little bit more getting into the loan because you're going to pay some minimum up front at closing. After that, there's no payments. We're paying you until the end of the loan. We also do rental loans. We do up to, up to 80% of your value. There's no tax returns, no W-2s, no payments, basically based on the property. And then we do some bridge loans. That's me. And I'm going to keep going fast. And now, the man of the hour, I actually got you an extra 5 minutes.
He's ordering beer.
Get his
Yeah.
beer.
Please.
Way more important.
Our speaker needs-
Get him lubed up and get him ready and get him up there. First time I met Tim was not at the Breakfast Club, but it was at High Court.
Yeah.
He got up and talked. He said something about his voice, and I'm like, oh man, I got a man crush on his voice. He's got the voice for radio, and I've got the face for radio. And here's my friend, Mr. Tim. Thank you, Tim.
They say I have the voice for radio,
Yeah.
or the face for radio.
I got the face. You got the voice.
All right, how is everybody tonight? Everybody hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They hear me online?
I can hear you without that.
I know it. That's okay. Can they hear me, Steve? All right, good. So, as you guys, if you guys don't know who I am, I do a lot of teaching and fix and flipping here in Denver. I did take over John Fisher's business, and John Fisher had started a fix and flip business, coaching business, about 2008 or 9. And John Fisher was a great guy. That's where his Breakfast Club is named after. We kept his name. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2015. Stage 4 lung cancer. They figured it out in like July of 2015. He passed away in September. It was really quick and sudden. He never smoked. They don't know where it came from. It was just quick and sudden. But he had been doing this breakfast club for all these years, and I had found the breakfast club in about 2012 because I was running a property management company at the time. I was trying to figure out how to build this property management company. And when I found the club, I showed up one 6:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning at Embassy Suites on Hamden, scared out of my wits, had all these people looking at me, and I didn't know what to do. I was this young kid, and there were all these older people. All right, whatever. But I kept going back. And after about the fifth time, I went back and sat down with next to this lady, and she goes, "You're the property manager, right?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, would you rent properties in parts of town I don't want to go into?" I said, "Hell yeah." I'm like, "This is Denver. What parts of town don't you want to go into?" So next thing I know, I had a meeting with her the next week, and she gave me 8 properties to manage. And then she's like, "I need to find more." Within the next 2 months, I found her a 5-plex for $399, I think. And this was, 2012, $399 for a 5-plex at basically MLK in Colorado Boulevard. Did have some bullet holes in it. She didn't care. So we rented it out. I think she's getting ready to sell it. She's going to sell it together. Her original plan was to actually subdivide them, but she's going to sell them together for like $1.8 million right now. Yeah. This lady's amazing. She has done really well, and she used to tell me, she's like, when we first started this, she's like, her husband used to call her from the other room and say, "Kay, what the hell are you doing? This is the worst idea you ever had." And she said 4 years later, "Kay, holy shit, this is the greatest idea you ever had." So, a friend of ours, Kay Krieger, she's been having some health issues, and her family's been having health issues, so hopefully she's doing well right now. But let's talk about what we're going to talk about tonight is fix and flipping in the Denver market specifically. And when I talk about the Denver market, it is a unique market here. And every part of town is a unique market, guys. Remember that. Every little piece of town in Denver is unique. So, Diego, I'm going to pick on you a couple of times tonight because it's Net Worth and New Western is my favorite ones to pick. But you got to be aware of what the part of town you're in. You got to be really specific. And I've made mistakes a lot, including one recently. So I'm still going to make money on this one, but I made about a $20,000 error recently. I'm still going to make about 20, but I probably lost $20,000. I'm going to tell you about it. I've been a real estate agent since 2004. I came down from the mountains after being a ski bum fly fishing guide because my best friend told me I should be a real estate agent. I said, okay. Ran a property management company, in 2015, bought Invest Success. 2017, I bought iCore. That lasted about 2 years. Decided that I was spread too thin. Gave up my ownership in iCore. My partner is Vince Koo, who's been doing this since 2009. He was a Rich Dad Poor Dad student, so he learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Spent $30,000 on Rich Dad Poor Dad. Didn't do a deal for 2.5 years until he met John Fisher. John Fisher told him why he wasn't doing any deals. He learned from John Fisher and then figured it out. So he's been a great partner for me. Okay. One thing I always tell you guys, whenever I teach a class, whenever I do anything, okay, I'm going to teach you the basics, but I am not a lawyer, so I can't give you any law advice. I'm not a tax accountant. I have no tax background, CPA background whatsoever. Do not ask me about any of that. We have other people to tell you about that. I am a licensed real estate agent. I can give you real estate advice, but not based on an agency advice. Okay, so just want to get that disclosure out of the way. All right, so let's talk about what we are looking for. Who are we? Are we buy and hold investors? Are we going to be long-term and professionals? Are we fix and flip? Do we want the quick turnaround and do we need the deals to be right? Or do we want to wholesale? Okay, Diego's wholesaling, Kevin's wholesaling. It's great. Wholesaling is a great business. Trust me. if you can do it and if you spend the time to do it, and it's a lot of work. Net worth will tell you it is a lot of work to wholesale. Okay? There's thousands and thousands of dollars spent in wholesaling every day. That's why when you look at wholesalers in Denver, there are probably less than 10 really good wholesalers in the state. Okay? Net worth, New Western, Hope and Jason, Home Trust, Colorado Wholesalers, and then Paul Strange, and then we kind of go down from there. And then it seems like everybody and their mom is a wholesaler. Every meeting you will go to, you will meet new wholesalers. All right? And they all want to be part of your team. They all need part of your team, and they all want to get you on their buyers list.